The terrifying last moments of Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. There are not many persons as well-liked and well-known as Steve Irwin. The 44-year-old was well-known worldwide for his ardor and knowledge of animals, and he was a captivating and fervent individual. By nature, he was a TV personality and a wildlife conservationist who devoted his life to taking pictures of the outdoors. Born into a family of environmentalists, Steve Irwin's parents, Bob and Lynn Irwin, founded the Queensland Reptile and Fauna Park. Steve was raised among animals and learned how to care for them at a young age. His fascination with crocodiles sprang from the knowledge his father instilled in him about reptiles at a young age. He began working with crocodiles at the age of 9, wrestling his first one under his father's supervision. Steve had a brief romantic relationship with Terry Raines, an Oregonian naturalist, but their love of animals only intensified when they met. Robert Clarence was born on December 1st, 2003, and Bindi Sue was born on July the 24th, 1998. The pair got married in 1992. John Stanton, the director, proposed to make a documentary about the couple's experiences capturing and saving crocodiles. The first installment of the Crocodile Hunter series, which Discovery Communications took up in 1996 and turned Steve into a global celebrity, was this documentary. The remarkable 11-year run of the Crocodile Hunter was followed by appearances by Steve in other television programs, including Croc Files and The Crocodile Hunter Diaries, a documentary series centered on the daily activities of the Irwin family. Steve Irwin was in Bat Reef on September 4th, 2006, enjoying a vacation from his duties co-hosting the documentary Ocean's Deadliest. With Philippe Cousteau Jr. filming had been halted because the weather had been becoming worse. Steve embarked on his quest to explore the maritime wilderness with the help of his reliable cameraman, Justin Lyons. The cherry on top was that Steve was searching for some amazing video for his daughter Bindi's next documentary series, Bindi the Jungle Girl. They removed an inflatable from the main boat as the sun was about to drop in the hopes of filming something useful. Steve saw a short-tailed stingray while he was in shallow water. The monster captivated him right away, so he started to pursue it in the hopes of filming it. He and Lyons agreed that the stingray swimming away from Irwin would be the documentary Bindi the Jungle Girl's closing shot. Steve's skill at taking poignant pictures that would enthrall viewers was well established, and a stingray would be an ideal subject for his daughter's next documentary. The stingray Steve came across was not your typical stingray. It was a short-tailed stingray with a poisonous tail that could kill anyone it thought posed a threat. With a long, whip-like tail that finishes in 1 or 3 deadly barbed spines, the animal had a flat, disc-shaped body and, according to Justin and other crew members, a wingspan of around 2 meters. It was a stunning animal with a distinct pattern of stripes and dark patches running down its sides and back. It employed the poisonous barbs on its tail to protect itself from potential predators. Moreover, it is important to note that short-tailed rays are not regarded as dangerous creatures, even though they have poisonous tails. This is a result of their innate gentleness and lack of aggression. Usually when they detect impending danger, they go into attack mode. The stingray most likely thought the creature he was approaching was a tiger shark, which is a natural predator of stingrays. Without warning, the stingray turned vicious and attacked Steve multiple times. Cameraman Justin Lyons remembered witnessing the stingray launch hundreds of attacks in a matter of seconds. There was nothing Steve and his crew could do to appease the stingray's rage. Steve felt his lungs had been punctured, but it was actually his heart that had been ruptured, as blood spurted from his chest. This whole incident was captured on video. Steve Irwin commanded his camera team to never stop filming, even during mishaps. They followed this directive even as Steve Irwin teetered on the edge of death. This entire incident, down to the last detail, was captured on camera. Irwin would always say to people, according to biographer Timmy Donovan, "I would be sorry if nobody got my death on tape." It was during these agonizing and terrifying moments that his cameraman heard Steve exclaim, "I'm dying." As soon as the crew realized Steve was dying, they hurried him back to the inflatable boat and started emergency medical care. Justin Lyons testified that as we're motoring back, I'm screaming at one of the other crew members in the boat to put their hand over the wound, and that we're saying to him things like, "Think of your kid. Did Steve hang on, hang on, hang on?" Although they attempted to apply pressure to the area to stop the bleeding while resuscitating him, the wound was too deep. It was too late when the crew hurriedly transported him to the local Low Isles hospital. He was pronounced dead there. Steve Irwin, an Australian crocodile hunter, passed away on a diving expedition close to Port Douglas. The damage to his heart was so great that we probably wouldn't have been able to save him, even if we had been able to get him into an emergency ward at that point, according to Justin Lyons. Steve Irwin's final remarks about this accident add even more mystery to it. John Staton gave a narration of his final speech. The Australian naturalist became a global sensation after Staton brought her one to the small screen. Staton told the I've Got News For You podcast that Steve Irwin had given a strange statement to the crew members who were capturing crocodiles for his study project just a few days before to the start of filming. Staton described Steve's speech as a sort of farewell address in which he thanked each of them for their support and genuine nature. Staton went on to say that he sensed a problem before the event ever occurred. However, as he once observed, you never know what the future holds. Staton said he attempted to convince the Discovery investors to axe the project because he had a premonition he would die while traveling. As a result, he had never wanted to shoot the documentary. If he didn't, he got checked out medically and made a will in case something went wrong. Discovery Channel carried on with filming the show because the entire cost of the trip had already been covered. Years later, the location of the cassette recording, Steve Irwin's terrible demise, is still unknown. Steve was killed by a stingray. The entire event was captured on camera for the television program Ocean's Deadliest, and the tapes were given to the police to help with their investigation. It thereafter went back to being owned by Discovery Communications. In 2006, John Stanton, Irwin's closest friend and director, told Larry King, "That videotape will never see the light of day, ever, ever, when it is finally released after being investigated. I actually saw it, but I don't want to see it again," he was allegedly reportedly quoted as adding. It's uncertain if the videotape is still in existence.